As human beings, we tend to focus so much on the final result more than the processes. And when you're picturing your life in the future, maybe 5 years to come, this is one way that can help you start over the right way. You've done all you could with all your energy. You've done what you know how to do, but just things are not aligning to that ideal life that you want to have happened. What do you do in situations like that? One thing you need to understand, life never comes as we expect, right? We take it one day at a time. In as much as planning is good and we can see ourselves 5 years to come, we can see ourselves 10 years to come, or maybe even a year from now, you can sort of picture where you want to be. Sometimes things happen that are actually inevitable, and these things that you cannot control, guys, when they come and hit you bad, they can either pull you down, can propel you to another stage. So here's the thing, guys, when situations come in your life and you really don't know what to do about it, and you feel like you're so much pressed on the corner, you don't know what to do, this is what you need to do, guys. Hello guys, welcome and welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Janette. Without further ado, let's just get right into the video. You need to understand that it's not your fault. Sometimes life just happens. You continue doing what you know to do. You might not feel like doing it. Discipline has to come into play. Sometimes you don't have even that energy to continue, but what you need to do is hang in there. I'll just allow time to work its wonders, because sometimes you might be doing the right thing, sometimes you might be associated with the right people, but things are not just falling into place. These are not just happening for you. Do not give up. This is one thing that I'll encourage someone with. Remain consistent. Keep on doing the same thing that you're doing, even though you don't see that you see your fruits. Take, for example, a tree. A tree, for it to produce fruit, it has to be yielded on the ground for a long time for it to mature enough to produce that fruit, right? So to you need to hang in there. Sometimes you might not see, even if you're growing, you might not see the progress you're making. For the people who go to the gym, the first day you go to the gym, obviously you don't see the muscles, yeah? You feel actually, and after the first day, you feel like your body is more tired than ever, right? The second time you go, you see the results still. The third time you go, you don't see the results still. It's when you continue on going over a long period of time, that's when you see the muscles are built up, right? So too, in our lives, some things we do, we don't see the results instantly, right? But when you continue on doing that thing that you feel is going to lead you where you want to be consistent, be disciplined, be diligent, and hang in there. Hold on to that hope that things are going to change in the future, and truly things will change. I'll give you an example of myself. I remember a few years back, before COVID, or just in the middle of COVID, I lost my job. I was so much deep in debt. I remember that was the time where I didn't have any savings myself. I lost my home. I had to go back home. I think things were very, very difficult for me, and the plans that I had for that year all went down the drain, and I kept blaming myself. Sort of, I started going into depression because of all these things. Self-pity crept in. So you're wondering, what is wrong with me? Why is other people's life advancing and yours is not advancing? I like to encourage someone. Sometimes in situations like that, you don't have control over, like COVID, you didn't have control over COVID. Then what do you do if you don't have control over circumstances that have come in your life and you're just not progressing? This is where you just hang in there. Keep on being attached and being rooted. Just because this way did not work out for you does not mean that you have to give up altogether. It means that you've got to find another strategy that might work for you, but just don't stay there and mourn over things that have passed, things that you don't have control over. Find different strategies where you can improve yourself. Life happens for sure, and it's important as human beings to just adjust. Actually, this morning I've just been listening to Miles Monroe. One of the things that truly stuck with me was, as human beings, when you look at our lives, it's like a recipe book, right? When you're looking at the recipe book, one page we have that picture of the meal that is already prepared, and you look at the meal, it's so nice, right? On the other page we have now the ingredients that are required. We've got now the steps that we need to follow for us to prepare that meal, right? So in this situation, this is the way our lives look like. When you're looking at our ideal life, this is now the meal, the picture meal that you're looking at, it already prepared, perfectly made and all that. But on the flip side of our lives, there are the ingredients that we need to cultivate, number one. And then we've got the steps that we need to follow to prepare this meal, meaning our ideal life, right? So in this situation, Miles Monroe was saying, as human beings, we tend to focus so much on the final result more than the processes and the ingredients. For example, if you want to prepare a cake and you miss one important ingredient, for example, in this case, salt. As much as you've got all the steps right, that cake will taste differently. So in our lives, look at the ingredients that you have. Yeah, what are the things, the qualifications that you have for you to be this ideal person that you want to be, right? As the end product. Look at the ingredients, and then in the ingredients, you're talking about your character. How is your character? And then from there, we come to development processes. Now, these are the steps of the preparations. For me to be this ideal person, there are things, there are steps that I need to follow. There are procedures that I've got to follow. So guys, I'll encourage you today, when you're picturing your life in the future, maybe 5 years to come, this is one way that can help you start over the right way. Write down the ingredients that are needed for that ideal person. Also write down the steps that you need to follow on a daily basis, maybe on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, for you to end up being that ideal person, right? Sometimes we expect people to come in our lives to change our lives. Truly, we are the ones who are there to change our lives. If you understand that you are dependent on yourself, you and God, depend on God for sure. You depend on God because He is our source, right? But then again, you also have to purpose in your heart to change. Don't look at anyone else. Remember, cursed is the man who trusts in other men. You need to learn to trust the processes. Don't focus so much on the end result. Focus so much on the processes and the ingredients that are necessary to build that final result of you. This is the way you grow, and this is the way you start off. This is the way you become a new version of you. I'll encourage you guys, don't give up. Number one, don't give up. Keep on pressing on. However tough the situation might be, just keep on pressing on. You hold on to what you keep on doing, as long as you're doing the right thing. Thank you so much guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.